Are you struggling with addiction? How do we know if we're actually truly addicted to something? A national survey on drug use and health, including over 40,000 adults, found that over 1 in 10 adults in the US reported ever having an addiction problem. This is just the people who filled out the survey reporting this, so I wouldn't be surprised if these numbers were much higher. One first step you can take to help beat addiction is to understand what addiction truly is. Even though addictions continually haunt us and can potentially ruin our lives, why do we still continue with them? Why do we still cave in to the deep, venomous desires of the vice or vices that we're addicted to? If you want to study addiction, you can't just look at what is bad. You also have to look at what is good. What is the person getting out of it that they subjectively feel is good for them? And how do they perceive it to be beneficial to their life? They might feel a release from pain. Addicts might feel good about the perceived control they have over the stressors and anxiety in their lives. They have crippling hurdles in their lives that they don't know how to navigate alone. Heavy addicts look for heaven in the escape. They seek, if even for a brief moment in time, relief from their unbearable psychological suffering. One definition of addiction is any behavior that gives you temporary relief or pleasure, but in the long term causes harm or has some negative consequences. You give into something at the expense of other arenas in your life, like your physical, mental, or psychological health. People can be addicted to anything: sex, drugs, video games, gambling, and even working. People who are heavily addicted may come from childhoods that were populated with trauma and abuse. This could include, but is not limited to, physical or emotional abuse, sexual abuse, neglect, feeling extremely isolated or alone, experiencing deep trauma and/or being hurt numerous times. Our brains focus so heavily on the negative, they just focus on what they can do to survive. So sometimes easing the pain just feels like the easy way out for your mind. Children's genetics and environments both heavily influence how their brains will develop as they age. When you don't have proper love, support, and moral development as a child, certain brain circuits do not develop properly, and you become significantly more susceptible to addictive tendencies to try and seek out things that stimulate your endorphin systems. There's this deep emptiness that addicts feel that they need to fill. There are countless ways to fill this emptiness through addictive behaviors with shopping, alcohol and other drugs, porn, etc. Your brain seeks to get the very thing that you never received enough of as a child. The more you indulge in addictive behaviors, the more your brain can be hijacked into thinking that the vice you look toward is giving you relief and happiness. Because of this, you continue to do it. And the more you do it, the more the negative cycle is reinforced, making you more addicted. Addiction may not kill you, but it will stop you from actually living. If it actually does get so extreme to the point where you feel like you want to end it all, know that suicide is never the answer. I promise you, you do not want to kill yourself. You just want to kill something terrifying that's inside of you. This is a very crucial distinction to make. You want to fill an empty void that hasn't been filled in healthy and constructive ways. You're never alone, and you do have support. Please give yourself time, be patient, and treat yourself with grace as you move forward through all this. We're just human, and nobody has it all figured out. The very decisions we make help determine who we become. If you feel your life is significantly changing for the worse because of an addictive vice, acknowledge that there could be an addiction problem and open your mind to the idea that you can learn how to beat it. When people decide that they have a problem and notice that they could learn and grow out of it, the probability that they'll actually learn and grow rises significantly. I understand the topic of addiction is very nuanced and detailed. So aside from watching this video and following the tips I shared, please consider professional help as well. You're not alone in this, and there is so much more to this than just one YouTube video. Another step you could take to beat addiction is to evolve your bad habits. With no strategy to help you stay consistent or disciplined, your chances to beat addiction are extremely low. These are people who could massively benefit from having stable and healthy processes in place to help move through addiction. Instead of focusing energy on avoiding bad habits, focus all that energy into building healthy habits. Research has found that it's much more effective to try and build on top of your current habits, rather than just completely erasing the bad ones. It takes 2 weeks to 9 months to form a new habit, depending on the complexity of it, for it to become fully automatic. The average person forms a new habit in about 66 days, with new neural connections forming at about the 8 to 12 week mark. To help develop healthier habits in time, track the addictive behavior. Don't try to change it right away. Don't try to get rid of it cold turkey. Don't do anything drastic like that at all. Literally just track how often you do it and what that might look like. Now you'll have an understanding over a period of time, say a week, of how much you indulge in an addictive behavior. Once you understand that, try and make extremely small, incremental changes over time to start shifting the habits. If you binge watch Netflix for 5 hours a day, 7 days a week, try to do it for 30 minutes less one day and keep the rest the same. Do that for a bit, then try to cut off another 30 minutes somewhere. Then cut off another 30 and another. You will make mistakes. You might relapse. You might move backwards, but that's completely normal and okay. It takes time to form the new habits. It takes adjustment for your brain to catch up with these new thoughts and behaviors. Keep at it, work through it intentionally, and stay consistent and disciplined. Over time, these small incremental changes will add up into something significant. Be very careful on the environments you put yourself into as well. For example, if every time you smoke, you do it because you're in an environment where others are smoking, it would be hugely beneficial for you to leave those specific environments to help keep back the addictive tendencies. Switch up your environment and try to replace the anxious desires with healthier things very slowly and incrementally over time. Another step you can take to help support you in your journey to conquering addiction is to take care of your body. While doing this in isolation doesn't guarantee you'll simply kick all of your addictive tendencies, it certainly does make a world of a difference physically and mentally. This is about getting proper sleep, getting healthy levels of sun per day, exercising and eating healthier foods, and developing some sort of meditative practice. Try your best to cut screen time about an hour before bed and an hour after you wake up. Go to sleep and wake up at the same time every single day. Immediately after you get up, try your best to go outside and get about 10 to 15 minutes of natural sunlight. Not through a window, not through a lamp, but actual real sunlight. These actions alone can easily and drastically change your life for the better in the long run. Be sure to eat nutrient-dense, diverse groups of food that keep you full and energized. Drink plenty of water and focus on improving your relationship with food and beverages in general. No need to be perfect here, but really try your best just to get a consistent practice in place and stay disciplined as much as you can. Everyone's bodies are different, so make sure to do what works best for you with the proper education and understanding on what you're fueling your body with. It's totally okay to mess up once in a while, and it's okay to miss a day here, miss a day over there. You're a human. Also, try to incorporate some sort of meditative practice into your life. Mindfulness practices have consistently been shown to improve focus, presence, sense of fulfillment and gratitude, and improve overall clarity and direction in life. It can also help you navigate your very complex emotional states. By taking care of your body in healthy and consistent ways in the long run, you will absolutely see positive changes. This only makes it easier to build healthier habits, switch up your environments and ways of thinking, and battle through addiction in healthier ways. Let me know in the comments below if any of these tips resonate with you. If you're new here, my name's Jeff and my goal is to make psychology make sense. If you're enjoying the content, any support would be greatly appreciated. Thanks for hanging out. Another great way to help beat addiction is to lean on others and help them through their challenges. The last step in AA is to help someone with their alcoholism. One of the greatest senses of fulfillment we can get as human beings comes from when we help people in genuine ways. This doesn't have to be glamorous and huge, but give it an honest shot and improve someone's quality of life, and the rewards will multiply. We are social creatures by nature, so we're meant to help one another and be supportive. You never have to face it alone or do this in isolation. Look to supportive groups and loved ones who have your back. Work through it slowly and treat yourself and others with grace. Know that by helping others, it can help give you clarity on beating addiction for yourself. This is one of the most simple yet effective ways to fight addiction for many. Addiction is an ugly beast that haunts many. By understanding what addiction is, shifting your perspective, acknowledging you may need help and that there is a problem, incrementally building new habits, taking care of your body, and supporting others, you can make groundbreaking progress with your addiction over time. You truly deserve a second shot at life. If you're interested in other topics in psychology, be sure to check out my last video on various careers available in the field of psychology. So for all things psychology to help you think, feel, and perform better, stay tuned right here on Psychology of Living.